Okay, this is program number 2. In program number 2, we are going to refactor program number 1 such that it's still basically it is still a procedural programming. Okay. However, we are going to refactor the code so that it uses a struct data type. So let's take a look. So this is the template of program 2. So I think we just need to get rid of this. Okay, we simply copy from program number 1. Okay, uh, I think it's better for me to put this side by side, okay, so that you can see program number 1 is at the right side, program number 2 is the left side. Okay, so basically it will be following the same. Okay, there is no extra concept here, only this one. Okay, struct, which is basically the basics or the best for some concept in OP. Okay, encapsulation. This is actually encapsulation. Encapsulation means that you bundle several data into, you pack them into a single structure. Okay, you can do it that in C++ or in C by using the struct. Okay? So for example here, uh, if you don't use struct, what we end up is something like this. Okay, every time you call to draw circle, you need to specify all the properties for a circle uh, uh, explicitly, something like this. Okay, but it is much better actually if you can make it this more intuitive, more concise, because we know that all this actually belongs to a circle, so we don't have to split them into separate uh, separate data. Okay, so we can do that here by using struct. Okay, this is the color. Okay, I can introduce the X and Y, which is for the center, and then the color, and then we have radius. Okay, you can also be you can actually be more explicit by specifying the name with self-explanatory name. So for simplicity, I'm using just X and Y for the center, R radius, and color, and so on. Okay, then we done with that. Okay, now how about the task? It's supposed to be the same. Okay, I just take this one. Where is it? This one. I just need to take this one because programming is actually just about data and process. Now we are working on process. So now our draw circle. In our draw circle, we need to implement the, or we need to execute set color, and then that set color needs color. Where do we get the color? Okay, assuming we have this circle, I'm calling it as a C. I think let's be more explicit. I use radius and color here. Okay, so my circle is C, so the color is inside C, right? So I call it, I hope you can recall from your PT1, okay, how to call a member of a struct. The same goes for circles, the center, which is CX, CY, radius and C radius. Okay, for the undraw, as you can see here, for the undraw, again, okay, because we refactor this, we no longer accept 3 parameters, okay, but instead we accept here a struct. So draw circle also accept a struct. Okay, so you plug in C, and then the color, we don't use the color from C, because we simply want to use black color. Okay, by the way, actually this one actually for I think for working on C, uh, I hope you learn from PT1 when you pass data, when passing data to a bulky data, or uh, a collection data, meaning that something like this, more than one data, an array, a struct. When you pass to a function, it's a good idea to pass as reference. I'm not going to, okay, I'm not going to explain here why, but just whenever you are working uh, bulk or big uh, data, meaning the data more than one value, it's a good idea to pass as a reference. So how you do it? Basically, you do it something like this. Okay, I just show you, and then make it a constant. Okay, so this is how you do it in C++. So the reason we put constant, because we want the reason we do this, we always want to send pass by reference. There is actually, I just give you a tips here. The reason is because you want to reduce the number of memory use, because when you pass by reference, it is always reference, which is whatever size data you are sending, it is always 8 byte if you are using Windows 64. Okay, so if not, then it create a copy. But by introducing by reference, it means you are making the function or making the data as output. So it violates the meaning of this case, because you are sending circle, not an output, but you are sending as an input to draw circle. So that's the reason why we put constant in front. Okay, so it's still passing by reference, actually, for performance issue, but we put constant here just to make sure you don't accidentally use circle as output. So what I mean by here, you don't accidentally, let's say you set the color of into something else like yellow. Okay, we try to avoid this. So by putting constant in front, you let the compiler help you. So before you start accidentally doing something like this, the compiler will guess for you beforehand. Okay, so that's the reason. It's a good idea to pass data as reference if it is a bulky data. Okay, data that consists more than one value. Okay. Okay, then what else? So if I do that, I can actually make the same as well here. Okay, draw circle. What else we need? Yeah, the rest is supposed to be the same. I can simply just copy the main function. Okay, I think just copy this one. Define a circle with specified. Let's take this one. Okay, I'm taking from all this. I just need to copy this and then replace this one. Okay, now let's work on this, because just now it is on procedural, so maybe I think I can get rid of program1. Okay, now so this interface is no longer valid because draw circle is supposed to be accepting only one parameter, which is a circle. Okay, let's try this out. I delete this, and then okay, I need to restructure this one. I create a circle, maybe we call it circle C1, and okay, you must put the value in order, because in order the way we define here. Okay, so first is x, second is y, and so on. So first is X, Y, and then followed by, what's that? The second one is supposed to be radius, okay? The radius. The third one is radius, which is 200. And then color, I simply take this, and then I can get this. Oops. What is it? Okay, circle. And then for circle 2, I simply take this. Y2 250. Radius 200. Color is, yeah. Okay, then when we draw this, we draw circle by sending C1, okay, because we have refactored our draw circle by having only one parameter, okay. So the same goes to C2, okay, CH, and then we can keep changing all the code. Okay, for this line, it's supposed to be C1X. Okay, again, I hope you can recall your knowledge about how to work with struct. Okay, they are serving the same purpose, the same logic. The only difference here is that syntax, which is not supposed to be important in programming, okay, because syntax, you can work on it very well. Okay, and then here is c2.x. Okay, we're supposed to be good. Okay, but I have an issue here. Okay, just now I tried to run, but I got an issue here. So see, because it violates the signature of draw circle. Draw circle can only accept a single parameter, which is a circle. But in undraw circle, we also need to supply color. But for draw circle, the color comes from the circle itself, right? So how to do that? Okay. One solution, you can actually create a optional color here parameter, but I'm not going to suggest that. Okay, alternatively, we can do it something like this. We create temporary object, okay. We can call it like circle temp, and then just copy the color, okay, and then we are going to change temp color to black. Of course, you cannot change, you might be tempting to change color, something like, okay, why do I need to use in this way? Why I didn't do it something like, okay, color, why don't we change to black? Okay, so this is the reason of doing this, because we have decided for the undraw circle, you supply input circle, the input must have only 4 input. you don't treat them as an output, something like this. Is actually what I mean by output. You are trying to do some modification on them, and then that modification will be carry forward later to the caller. So here we are actually trying to change the actual color. Okay. But what if later on you want to maintain the color? So uh, that's why the reason why we put constant here. Okay, to to let us to let compiler help us to detect the error. Okay, so let me check what we have here. Constant circle C, and then let me bring this back to its original. Okay, and then draw circle, and then here is supposed to be 10. Okay, let's take a look what. Okay, my VS Code doesn't refresh this, so it works now. It's supposed to be working the same as program number 1, because as I mentioned just now, we just doing refactoring, which means we just rearrange the code without changing the behavior of the program. Okay, it's supposed to be working. Yeah, that's it. I think, okay, let's recap what we did for program number 2. Just now we just refactor by refactor only for the data structure. Okay, instead of having XY radius color separately, we bundle together all the value into a single structure. Okay, we use struct here. Okay, so basically this is the basic of object oriented. Okay, the some concept coming from here. Okay, a concept coming from it, which is called encapsulation. Encapsulation, basically you capsulize or you package two or more entities into a single structure. Okay, here we package XY, which is the center of the circle, the radius, then the color of the circle, and put them into uh, a single data structure, a struct. Okay, so the rest is about the same. Since we change the interface here, the prototype, the header, so when we try to call the function, we also need to rearrange the code. Okay, just rearrangement of code structure, but as you can see, the logic, the flow is about the same. Okay, so that's it about program number